Because Birbal was very wise and witty and had the emperor's confidence, the emperor's courtiers and others were jealous of him and tried to find some way to degrade him. One day the court barber, who was very jealous of Birbal, hatched a plot against him. When the king called him to trim his beard, he went and started doing his job.
Your Majesty, last night I dreamt of your father.
Akbar was surprised.
Is it true?
My lord, I was the barber of your father too. You knew me well.
What did he say to you?
Your Majesty, he said that everything is good in paradise, but he feels a great absence of a good and humorous man who can amuse him.
Who's very humorous here?
My lord, you know that better than me.
The king thought hard, but could think of no better man suiting the description than Birbal. Naturally, the only way to go to heaven was through death. For a moment, Akbar was very sad to think that he would be losing such a good man, but considering that father needed Birbal's company, he made up his mind.
Birbal is the right choice. He can make my father happy.
You're right, my lord. He is very intelligent too.
That's true. I will speak to him.
He summoned Birbal, and Birbal came to the court.
Birbal, I think you love me very much and you can sacrifice anything for me.
Birbal tried to figure out what the emperor was driving at, but he could not get his point.
You know, Majesty, I do.
Then Birbal, please go to heaven to give company to my dear father.
Birbal understood that this was a plot hatched by some jealous character to get rid of him. He was shocked, but took it in his stride.
My lord, I will do so, but I need a few days to prepare myself to go to heaven.
Certainly. You're doing such a great favor. I allow you 1 week to prepare yourself.
Birbal was worried. He thought somebody had planned very well, and it seemed that he could not escape death. He also found out that the barber was responsible for this idea. Birbal thought hard, and finally a solution was in sight. He dug a ditch near his house, which would serve as his grave, and dug a tunnel too, which would open into a room of his house. After doing this, he returned to the imperial court.
I'm ready, Your Majesty, but there are 2 conditions.
Akbar was happy that Birbal was prepared to sacrifice his life for his sake, though he was sorry to lose him.
What are those conditions? Tell me. I will try to fulfill them so that you can go to heaven to be with my dear father.
Your Majesty, I wish to be buried near my house, and I want to be buried alive so that I can reach heaven alive to amuse your dear father.
The king found this logical and agreed.
All right, as you please.
So Birbal was buried alive near his house. Of course, he made his way to his house, where he lived in confinement for 6 months. After 6 months, he came out of hiding. Now he had a long beard and shabby hair. He sought permission to appear in the royal court. Looking at him, Akbar was shocked.
How did you come back from heaven, Birbal?
Your Majesty, I was in heaven with your dear father. I had a very good time there with him. He was so happy with my services that he gave me special permission to return to earth.
Akbar was very anxious to know about his father.
Did he send any message for me?
Yes, Your Majesty. He said that very few barbers go to heaven. You can make this out from my beard and shabby hair. He also has a long beard and shabby hair. He needs a barber for him exclusively. So he has asked you to send your own barber to him immediately.
Akbar understood everything.
Birbal, you have been very understanding. I appreciate your patience.
He gave Birbal a big prize and his barber the life sentence.
The tiger of Mysore. Once, Tipu Sultan went hunting in the forest with a French friend.